Alright, I'm back with another video. I just wanted to cover something else. I don't know if you guys noticed, but Watch Dogs Legions released recently on Steam, and I have been tracking it. And yeah, it's been a little rough. It's been a little rough, to say the least. The reviews have been mixed. There's not a lot of people playing it. For something that's supposed to be a big release, we got 585 players right now. I don't know if we're gonna see the increase. Might see an increase, but yeah, usually there's a huge spike when it releases. It's been pretty mediocre, and yeah, the reviews have been pretty funny. So if y'all don't know, Ubisoft have not really been friendly with Steam, and they kind of released their games without putting a lot of effort into it. So Assassin's Creed Valhalla doesn't have Steam achievements, and they're like, yeah, we're never gonna put it in. And man, people hold a grudge. Let me tell you, PC gamers combined with, not just PC gamers, just video gamers in general combined with the internet, we see a lot of drama. But yeah, if you want to see some of the reviews, there's no Steam integration, no achievements, and people are leaving a lot of negative reviews. In fact, there's people that are buying the game just to leave a negative review and then getting a refund. Over here, there's a lot of copy pasta as well. History will remember. History won't, but Steam players will. Ubisoft's Chris Early spoke out against Valve's PC digital store, Steam, saying it's a business model is unrealistic. He added, it doesn't reflect where the world is today in terms of game distribution. But I'm not gonna take this quote out of context because I don't know who this guy is or what he said. So I'm gonna just take it with a grain of salt. But yeah, people are creating this narrative where Ubisoft is in financial trouble and they're coming back to Steam, releasing their games, but without any effort. That's the common narrative I see right now in these reviews. Whether or not that is true, I am not sure, but I have read recently that Ubisoft had to deal with a lot of layoffs. They canceled a lot of projects. They seem to be in a little bit of financial trouble. That's how businesses usually operate, so I'm not sure if they're really in trouble or not, but yeah. Again, with more copy pasta. This drama is great. I just love reading through this. It's been 11 years since Far Cry 3 came out and they're still making the same game. That's a little rough. Gamers are so tough to please. People are also creating this narrative where, they release it first on Epic and then they're beta testing the game and then for a couple of years and then they get to release it on Steam. Welcome back to Steam, Ubisoft. Stay on Steam. Yeah, the truth is Steam is probably the best place to get games, and honestly, I hate it when people call Steam a monopoly because there's a difference between a company that is just attracting all the customers and a company that makes sure that no one else can compete. Steam is not edging any competition out. They're just literally the best place or the most known place to get games. They might not be the best, but in terms of like brand recognition, I can't say that word, brand recognition, and in terms of just, positive outlook on the brand, Steam is king. If you want to buy a game, you go to Steam, right? You might buy it from, Green Man Gaming, Good Old Games, whatever, but like most people recognize Steam and all the keys on these other sites. You might go to CD Keys, all these gray market sites, they're Steam keys, right? For the most part. Anyways, they're not a monopoly because anyone can create a video game store, and it's just, there's, if you want to compete, you have to provide a better service. You have to provide something better, right? If you don't, there's no real reason for me to go to your store and buy stuff, right? So a lot of these companies, they try to make their own web store, not because they think Steam is doing something wrong, but because they want to make more money themselves. Steam takes a pretty big cut. It's 30%, and that's the norm on most platforms. Honestly, it is a bit high in terms of market research where, there's not that much overhead, but Steam is taking that money. But I'd rather give it to Steam because they're using that to do stuff. I wish they released more stuff though. I wish they would make games too, but yeah. We got the Steam Deck, you know? That money funds research like that. It's a shame that it feels like they just don't. They have a lot of projects going, but it's just never done, right? But yeah, the Steam Deck is absolutely fantastic. It's one of the best things they've made so far. I still like the Steam controller and the Steam Link. Excellent products. Just never got a following. But yeah, look at all these reviews. This is a copy pasta. I understand you found paradise in Epic Game Store. You had a good trade. You made a good living. Tim Sweeney protected you, and there was Ubisoft Connect. So you didn't need a friend like Steam. Now you come and you say, Steam players, give me your money. But you don't even ask with respect. You don't offer friendship. You don't even think to suggest even the idea of Steam achievements. You come into our house on the same month. The media says that you have financial problems and you ask us to give you money without Steam achievements. But yeah, I really like this one the best. I beg you all to stop giving Ubisoft games bad reviews. Let's give good reviews to trick Ubisoft into putting Far Cry 6 on Steam and then change your reviews to bad. What an evil genius. But yeah, I love hate watching. I don't necessarily hate Ubisoft. I just like reading stuff when people are angry, you know? And I don't necessarily agree with them, but I find it interesting. It stirs something within me, you know? But yeah, I thought it was fun. I hope you guys have fun. I like checking this stuff out. But yeah, in my personal opinion, Steam could take a little bit less. I don't know how their business is run, so I can't tell you. But, you know, 30% is a lot. But that said, though, if you put your game on Steam, you're more likely to sell it than if you don't. So I think there is some value that Steam is providing. Not only that, they have a lot of built-in stuff that kind of makes gaming more accessible. I really appreciate what they're doing with Proton and the Steam Deck and making gaming work on Linux, because every day I look at Windows and where they're going. I don't like it. I want to switch, but Windows is still the most convenient OS to use for someone who's not gonna want to go work under the hood for something like Linux. I've been trying to get stuff to work on my Steam Deck, and it's a little bit hard to troubleshoot when it don't work. It's not the easiest. Whereas Windows, it's like, just look it up and you can find the exact solution. Linux, it's not the same, Anyways, that's it. I thought it was interesting, all this drama for, perceived actions, real or not, having consequences, and that's a big oof. That's a big oof for something that's supposed to be a big release. That said, though, I will say something. I do not begrudge companies, especially indie ones, for going exclusive for a year with Epic Game Store, because if y'all don't know, game development is pretty expensive. There's a lot of really interesting and informative game postmortems if you want to check them out. There are indie devs that go over the process of their game development journey. I forgot, there's a few, like a Short Hike has one, and then there was a puzzle game I don't remember the name of. It was relating to music and blocks. Anyways, for those postmortems, they go over the cost of game development, and it's huge. It's very expensive. The indie puzzle game cost like $500,000, and most of it was spent for art. If you're making games, honestly, the most expensive part is going to be art, if you guys don't know, because you can do the coding yourself. You don't even have to code with Unreal Engine. If you don't know how to code, there's like a flowchart method that kind of is pseudocode. So even without knowledge of coding, you can make a game, and you can buy a custom soundtrack for pretty cheap. Sound effects are pretty cheap too. A couple $100 will get you like awesome music, awesome sound effects. But when it comes to graphics, it's super expensive because you know, you got a lot of stuff going on. You gotta make the wireframes, you gotta make the textures, you gotta rig it, you gotta animate all this stuff. And sure, you can do make do with stuff you find in the asset store, but if you want your game to feel better, you're gonna have to hire someone or pay someone to do that stuff for you, and that's really expensive. And when you see, you know, small companies get, you know, go exclusive on Epic Game Store, it's because Epic is paying for their game development costs, and that is something that's super expensive. And rather than risk, you know, putting it just on Steam, and if it doesn't sell, they can't recoup those costs. It's better to take that guaranteed money, have it be on Epic for a year, and then, you know, put it on Steam, because there's no guarantee it's gonna sell. There's so many games coming out, and if you don't have, you know, publisher to market the game for you, it's very hard. Discoverability is a really big issue on everything, not just content creation, but for gaming, because there's so many games coming out. It's like, how do I know that you're making a game? I have to know somehow, and there's a lot of lists. Sorry, that's a little off tangent, but I love talking about this stuff. Steam has some lists, and there's some ways to show up. Basically, you gotta make your game, and then the biggest way is to come up in the popular upcoming. And a lot of the ways that the primary method you come up on this list is if people wishlist your game. So, you know, there's been a couple methods where people kind of make dev blogs and they post on Reddit, and you know, they're like, here's my game, and then they update people, and they're like, oh, I'm gonna come out soon, please wishlist my game, it really helps. And what it does is, bam, it shows up here, and then people can see it, and they're like, oh, this looks interesting, and then they might wishlist it, and it helps the game. So if you guys have like an indie game dev that you want to support and they're making a game, wishlist the game. It helps them out. Anyways, that's it. So I wanted to make this video. Yeah, you know what? These are more impromptu. They're not scripted. They're not really good content pieces, but it's what I wanted to make. And it does feel a little bit awkward, honestly. I'm not used to looking at the camera. I'm looking away because I'm shy. Even though there's no person here, it's kind of awkward making eye contact. And yeah, there's no script. I just wanted to make these videos because I wanted to. They don't have to be good. It's okay, because it's what I want to do. Anyways, I'll be back whenever I feel like making something. Catch you guys next time.